going to speak about Kamigami no Asobi, and particularly for one specific character. But before I speak about that specific character, I'm going to say some details about the anime itself. Kamigami no Asobi first aired at April 5, 2014. It is an anime adaptation of the same called Otome game Kamigami no Asobi, and like every Otome game, there is an MC, and she has to choose from a variety of guys to take and get into a romantic relationship with. In our case, the main character is Yui Kusanagi. Yui Kusanagi is a third-year high school student. That means that she's almost ready to graduate, but she has worries about her future. She lives in a shrine, and her favorite hobby is kendo. She does swordmanship, as anyone would have expected from someone who lives in a shrine. Probably she also participated as a meiko in festivals. We don't know that, they don't say anything about that, it's just my assumption. So, Yui Kusanagi, one day after school, she finds in storage an old sword. When she touches it, she gets transferred to another world where she meets different kind of men that surprise her mostly. There she finds out that Zeus created that world in order for the gods he selected to find again the meaning of love and how it is to be human. And that's her role. Her role is to teach those gods again what it means to be loved and to love, and the human culture. She has to learn to teach those things to the gods. At first, it was rather hard for her because some of the gods never even participated in the school activities, and she had to persuade them to come and visit the classrooms. But that is another story. You have to watch the anime or play the game. I would actually advise to play the game because sometimes in the anime, especially when there is an MC and fine men boys, you get angry about the MC who doesn't choose someone. There is a specific reason she doesn't choose anyone, because simply it is up to you. It's a game. You have to go to play the game and choose someone. The anime cannot decide which boy character should actually be there. So before I speak about my character that I want to speak about in this video, I will first speak about the gods that are in the game. So I will speak first about Thor, who is the Egyptian god there and the teacher there. Thor is an Egyptian god of the knowledge. He is the god of wisdom. He was born out of a lettuce. It was more natural for me to see him being there in order to be taught human love and how it's to be human, because he was born out of a lettuce. He did not have any normal giving birth, so he probably did not even have a mother. And it reminded me a lot of the Greek myths Aphrodite, who was born out of the sea, but is not the daughter of Poseidon. Let's put that there. She has nothing to do with Poseidon. That's Thoth, one of the gods there. He's the only Egyptian god there to be found. Afterwards, I will speak about the Greek gods, which I'm more familiar with. First of all, I will speak about Hades. Hades is the brother of Zeus, and it was rather weird for me to find him there and actually participate in school activity, because he did not at the beginning. He after he meets with the heroine and she persuades him to come, afterwards he comes to the school. But I don't know what Zeus thought when he had to bring his brother to the school, because are you really doing that? Are you forcing your brother to attend school because you think that he doesn't know love and doesn't know the human culture? I think it's pretty weird. For me, at least, it was very weird. And also because it's not that in the Greek mythology, of course, he knew about love. It's not that he didn't know. He also had a wife called Persephone, and he had a lot to go through in order for that relationship to work out. I mean, Hades kidnapped Persephone out of her mother's Demetra hands in order to bring her into the underworld. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But aside that, there is also a curse put on Hades in the anime that really has no sense for me, because in the Greek myths, Hades does not have a curse. I think it's very unfortunate for him to be the ruler of the underworld, but he does not have any curse. And they say that the curse is made out of the dead that actually hate him for putting them there. I'm sorry, but the Greek underworld in the myths was both heaven and hell. The people that were supposed to be good and were supposed to go to heaven, they were sent also to underworld towards the ones that were evil when they were still alive, to be tortured, because the heaven people that were in underworld, they could see the people that were supposed to go to hell, and they could actually feel good because they would see them being tormented like they did in their earthly life. Aside that, if I did know about the Greek myth about Hades, maybe I would have chosen him in the game to play with him, because it is very good. It's a very cute character, and I actually see a lot of myself there. It is also an easy character for me to play. It is really easy. The second Greek god is Dionysus. Dionysus is technically the son of Zeus. He was born from his upper leg like Athena did, but she was born out of his head. Weird, but weird, yes. What I did not like about the anime of Dionysus, how he was made, is first of all, they made him look like a mature grown-up man. No. Dionysus, in the Greek myth, he's nothing but grown up. He's the immortal teenager we all say and speak of. He's literally that. He always is the party animal of all the things. He's that. He's the god of pleasure. How can you can make him an adult man, but in the Greek myth, he's always that immortal teenager. That's what he is, and he always plays with the nymphs, always dances with her, and he had a lot of celebrations upon his name because everyone loved to party, and he was literally the god of the parties. That's what Dionysus was, and we don't see him very much in the anime because in the first game, Dionysus is not a choice to play with. He's in the second game, a choice to play. The third god is Apollon. In that case, I have very much to say because there were some mistakes. They were calling him Apollon, the god of the sun, and sorry, but he is indeed the god of the light, but he's not the god of the sun. There's a separate god for that, and his name is Ilios. Literally in English means sun. Ilios is the god of the sun. His name says that he is the god of the sun, and Apollon has nothing to do with the sun. He is the god of the light, arts, and future telling. That's what he is. They show us an Apollon that is in love with Cassandra, and that's happening before the fall of Troy. Okay, that's not true. The whole Troy loved Apollon, and the whole Troy praised and worshipped him, not only Cassandra. Indeed, it's true that Cassandra had the foresight that she could see the future since birth. She was gifted by Apollon for that power of hers, according to the myths, of course, but she did not have the power in older age. She had it from young age, and specifically she was ripped apart from that because the only things she could tell from the future is only bad things, bad omens, and that's why she was stripped out of that by Apollon himself. You understand where I'm going? In the anime, Cassandra was supposed to be the lover of Apollon, but in reality, Cassandra was stripped out of her power by the same god, Apollon. Also, Cassandra was the one that said that Paris would be the one to bring destruction to the city, and no one believed her. God, they sent him off to be a shepherd. If he did not exist, we wouldn't have that whole myth about Achilles, the whole Troy thing, Odyssey. We wouldn't have those things, it seems so. We wouldn't. So thank you, Cassandra. I do not know. Back to the anime. Yes, Apollon, as the Greek god, he had a lot of failures as a love interest because if you could put someone else, I would actually put Daphne in the place of Cassandra in the anime, because Apollo loved so much Daphne that she was a nymph of the forest. And so, as a nymph of the forest, she could not easily fall for the charms of the god. And when she was running away from him one day, Daphne started crying, and the nature and earth heard her and made her into a tree, Laurel, the same Daphne tree. That's the thing. She changed Daphne. It would be very nice if, in the place of Cassandra, they would have put in Daphne, because it would be more natural, for me at least. It would be much more natural to see Daphne there rather than Cassandra. For me, Cassandra was the weird part here. I do not know why she was there, but let's speak about it in another time. So that's to do about the Greek gods. So yes, Apollon for me was a little too much. You put too much information into him. God, he also, yes, he's indeed the son of God. He was born out of Leto, who had a lot of unfortunate thing to do, because Hera, the wife of Zeus, she did not let her give birth to any place, and the only place that accepted her to give birth was the island called Delos. Only that place. And one little interesting detail is that Apollon had a twin sister, Artemis, and Artemis was the one that helped her mother give birth to Apollon. It has nothing to do with the anime, but I would like to add it because it's nice information to know what happened really in there. It's nice to know a little more things. Now I will speak about the Japanese god. So there they have given the Japanese goddess some more like human names, like Akira. Totsuko is Amaterasu, Tsukito Totsuko is Tsukuyomi, Takeru Totsuko is Susanoo. That's the three big in Japanese mythology, and I actually know that that is true. They were siblings. For me, all three of them were siblings born out of Izanagi and Izanami. I do not know if there is another detail. I know that they are siblings born out of Izanami and Izanagi, the two great gods in Japanese mythology. So what I know about that is that Amaterasu, Akira, and Tsukuyomi, Tsukito, were supposed to be very bonded together and very well loved. In the anime, Akira hates Tsukito and actually favors Takeru. I have no reason why. I mean, in the Japanese mythology, they say that Takeru, Susanoo, was supposed to be the bad-tempered kid that always did the mischiefs. That's what he did. But it seems in our case that it was not so much the case in the anime, because it seems that Takeru and Tsukito had a very good connection. I could understand that, since the moon and the sea have also a good connection, and without the moon, the sea will not be stable as it is now. They also say that Susanoo gave Tsukito the rabbit mark on the moon. Also, for me, what I know is that Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi were supposed to not have a specific gender. They could be seen as females and as males too, and I'm okay with that. I mean, okay, they were supposed to be both genders, and I do not know. Susanoo was supposed to be a male. I know that he's a male, and he's a male in the anime too. That's what I have to say about those two gods, three gods. Akira is not a choice. That's why I'm confusing and say two gods, because Tsukito and Takeru are choices for the hero in the first game to be in a relationship with, but not Akira. Akira is in the second game. So now I will speak about the Norse mythology and gods that are their anime. They have three: Loki, Thor, and Baldur. I don't know how you call him, but there are those three in the anime. So, first of all, I'm going to speak about Loki because for me it had the great boom. No, that's not the what kind of god he is. In the anime, they saw him as the god of fire. I'm sorry, Loki is the god of mischief. He's not the god of fire, and definitely does not have red hair. In my imagination, at least, Loki does not have red hair. So, that's one grave mistake. I don't know if they did it on purpose, but no, he's the god of mischief, Loki. And I do not know why they are in good relations with Baldur. They don't say anything in mythology about Loki being in good relationship with anyone except his wife, Hela. He had a wife. Okay, let's say that too. The second god is Thor. Thor is the god of lightning, both in the anime and in the mythology, so I don't have anything to add here. It's correct, the roles are correct, it's not a mistake. They're both, in both cases, god of lightning. The most confusing case is the case of Baldur, the blonde-haired, nice, good acting guy, and very cute, I could add. So Baldur, in the Norse mythology, he is indeed the god of light, and together with joy and purity. You see where I'm going? He's the very nice god that shines when you see him. The same thing could be said about the anime, but for one reason they did the role of also the god of destruction. I'm sorry. Even in some games I could see Baldur being active in wars. He's not supposed to be anything violent. He's a good god. Come on, keep a good god as a good god, not make him evil all of a sudden. And that's what's weird. They made Baldur in the anime god of the light and god of the destruction. Both of the things. While we know in the Norse mythology, god of destruction is Ragnarok, which is very accurate with Christian Armageddon, but let's not go into deep. Let's continue with Baldur. So, we meet Baldur in the first episode in a garden, and he accidentally falls upon the heroine in flowers. There were flowers there, and he falls on her, and they fall on the ground with all those flowers being there. The MC did not react at that case. It was Loki that came and threw off Baldur and was actually accusing the heroine for seducing him, and I was like, no, that did not happen. He fell on purpose on her. And that's how the first we see him as a kind person that flirts with a heroine every time and chance he meets. He does that. He flirts with a heroine, and he's gentle, kind, nice, handsome. You can say that he is indeed handsome. So as the episodes go by and you go to the end, Baldur gets a little more possessive with a heroine. He gets jealous very easily, even with Loki, in which Loki was supposed to be his best friend and the only companion in life. That's why Loki was also possessive of Baldur, but then he wants help from the heroine in order to realize why Baldur is acting that way. We realize afterwards he started to become possessive, aggressive, dangerous, and yes, you could see the drastic change. It was 9th episode he was still nice and good, and in 10th episode he was, I want you, I do not want to see you with anyone else. I really feel that this kind of men are the most dangerous men ever. May it be in anime, may it be in reality, men that actually are nice, gentle, and kind at the beginning of its relationship, and then afterwards they suddenly turn into being possessive, dangerous, and aggressive. For me, it's a big no. When I saw the anime and I was thinking, if I had the choice, I would never pick Baldur, because I do not know how I would have reacted if I was playing the game and that character was starting to be like that. I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what I would have chosen, but we see that change of character, and we see that Balder really is starting to want to destroy the whole world that Zeus had created. That means mission failed for the heroine. She could not teach the gods love and human nature. She could not make them understand, and that was a big no-no. We can see the world starting to crumble, and we can see the heroine trying to be saved by the gods, which they want her to go back to the human world in one piece. So what we see is Balder finally getting his senses back and realize what bad things he has done. Is he almost destroyed the world together with the gods and with the heroine. He's sad about it and he wants to change that, and so they send her back to human world while in tears and everything. It was a sad ending, even though I could not see a romantic relationship growing with any one of them. Like I said in the beginning of the video, otome games and otome games adaptation in anime, they do not choose a character. There might have been one occasion when we saw that the main character chose one, and that was in Dance with the Devils. Only there I saw a main character choosing someone as her love interest, and that was also at the end. We saw all 12 episodes only to see 5 minutes of the 12 episodes seeing a romantic relationship with one of the males. I mean, it's frustrating sometimes, but you have to play the games. The anime is like a trailer, like like a trailer in order for you to go and buy the game. That's what it is. And yes, that's what I had to say about Balder as being one of the most dangerous characters in Kamigami no Asobi, because definitely in the whole anime community there are more dangerous characters than him being a yandere, reverse yandere, because I think he definitely meets up with all the qualification. He would definitely be a very good yandere boy. But let's not talk about that anymore. The anime as itself, it had extremely good quality. The graphics was very nice for me because unfortunately or fortunately it was my first anime and I got attracted to it by the graphics. Don't call me names. I know that what I did was bad thing, but I got into anime because of the nice graphics and quality and beauty and colors of the anime, and that's how I ended up with being an otaku, weeb, however you call it. I do not know, but yes, that is indeed me. So we came to the end of today's video, and what I have to say is thank you for watching. I hope I see you soon. Please subscribe and like, of course, push the notification button, and we will see each other again in the next video. Bye bye.